at the top like a tower. You couldn't last for an hour. Bet when it rains, I'ma stay dry like a towel. I'm after you like a vowel. It is what it is. This the New Testament, dog. You shouldn't mess with a dog. The color of Christ, you shouldn't have messed with a dog. Heathens a mess of my God. I ain't for your mouth, ain't for your head, ain't for your leg, ain't for your shirt. Aim at your clout, you put me in chains, I ain't gonna pout. You push me down, I ain't staying down. You push me out, I ain't staying out. You can't turn us down, my speaker too loud. Here's where the circle, we coming around for real. Please don't push me, I'm right off the edge. Doing things to try to get ahead. But this flight ain't aiming at my head. When I die, my son reign in my stead. We gon' stay ahead. Even if I die, I bet my son gon' take revenge. Don't know what you talking about, they hating on the head. I done took a pledge. I done took a pledge. I broke the bread. Most high in Christ blessed. Most high in Christ blessed. We broke the bread. We broke the bread. You know the rest. You know.
Got my original Ultron. Yeah. I left for my business unfinished, but it won't diminish my legacy. Go on. Take over my battles like go home. The heathen been under my arm like a roll on. What? I bet they gon' hold on. What? They certain they right with their mind and I'm thinking they so gone. The Lord had commanded that I can avenge or the big grudge and exacting revenge, but they not my kin. So when they again, I'm at it again like a sequel to Friends. Gave us more problems and took all the land. They gave us affliction and broke all our bands. Raising the prince, got maybe a king. I'm grieving my enemies, teaching my kids, I know they vex. I've been meditating on the scripts, teaching all my children how to live. You better do the same before you dare.
When I die, my son reign in my stead. We gon' stay ahead. Even if I die, I bet my son gon' take revenge. Don't know what you talking about, they hating on their head. I done took a pledge. I done took a pledge. I broke the bread. Most high in Christ blessed. Most high in Christ blessed. We broke the bread. We broke the bread. You know the rest. You know. I came to make history. I did not come to make friends. The Bible is playing in front of their eyes. It's all coming down to an end. This is the part I was talking about. He about to reveal all his sins. I decided to repent. I cannot follow my sin. I came to make history. I did not come to make friends. The Bible is playing in front of their eyes. It's all coming down to an end. This is the part I was talking about. He about to reveal.
Hey, shalom. Welcome to Four Corners News. That's right, where the truth speaks. I am Captain Zakar. To my right,
Captain Tobias.
And to my left,
Captain Severus.
To his left,
Officer Daniel.
And to his left,
Officer Azanai.
To his left,
Officer Pagiel.
And last but not least,
Officer Michael.
And we make up Four Corners News. All praise to the Most High. Thank you for tuning in to Four Corners News, where we bring you the news from all over the earth, showing you that the Bible is a true book. That's all right. So we're going to get into a little FCN class special today, the falsehood of black liberation. We're going into that today because many of our people have been deceived by quote unquote liberation here in Babylon the Great, known as America. Let's pull up the definition of liberation and let's see what we got.
Definition of liberation: the act of liberating or the state of being liberated.
The act of liberating or the state of being liberated. What's number 2 say?
The act or fact of gaining equal rights or full social or economic opportunities for a particular group.
Okay, there we go. That's it right there. The fact. It said the fact of gaining equal rights or full social economic opportunities for a particular group. And honestly, it seems like here in America that all other races have have been liberated besides black people in America.
Right.
And I know you know what happens to the people when they hear us say that, the ones that are in government and things of that nature. They'll always go back. They'll equate 1619 with 2024 and be like, we are good here in America. What are y'all complaining for? But you know, when people say that, I think back about how we were once kings and had you know, libraries and kingdoms and Mansa Musas, and even before that it was Solomon and David and things of that nature.
Right.
You can't compare the life that we live right now in the land of our captivity to us being rulers in Africa when we lived there. And when I say Africa, I'm talking about Israel as well, because that's Northeast Africa. So we can't compare those things. And I think that's a part of the educational system's main goal, is to detach blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, because Hispanics here, they ruled all of America at one point, even Native Americans. All of this was their land. They had kingdoms. They had gold and diamonds and wealth and abundance of food and things of that nature. And now, even with Northern Kingdom, the Hispanics having their own grocery stores and things, it's not on the level of where they once had it when they was the Aztec Indians and things, and the Mayans. It was never on that same type of level. Give me that in Deuteronomy. Scripture comes to my mind right now. Deuteronomy. Y'all know what I wanted. That 32. Deuteronomy 32, verse 7.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old.
And that's what we have forgotten as a people, where we feel like we have been liberated at this day and age. We have forgotten the days of old, of when we were actually royalty. Now we are just, you know, millionaires and thousandaires and middle class, and we are comfortable with that. We've forgotten the days of old when we ruled the entire world. That's much better than what we have right now. You can't even compare it. That's apples and oranges, man.
Right.
Read that again. Finish it out.
Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
This is why we don't have many elders in the black community anymore that are able to pour into our youth the history of who we was as a people. You know, back in the day, and they talk about it a lot, about how information up in New York and Harlem was passed, and they used to have bookstores, and they would read those things, and they would stand on the corners and talk about black history. Them days is gone, man. We don't have those no more. And it's definitely not related to the Bible no more, because we've forgotten that we was the Israelites. We've forgotten that completely. So liberation, pull that back up one more again. Let's see. Let's read that one more time. Does it got any what you call that the swords, the synonyms on it too? Let's see. Okay.
Liberation, abolition, deliverance.
Deliverance. Go ahead.
Democracy. Emancipation.
It's the main word we want.
Salvation.
Salvation. So liberation is equated to salvation. Man.
So we not saved yet.
We not saved yet.
Yeah, I was trying to
fully liberated.
Go ahead, guys.
No, we're not fully liberated.
Yeah.
Sure, in the eyes of the good old American, liberation is us holding hands, singing Kumbaya, celebrating Christmas, okay, while we still getting gunned down.
Yeah.
That's liberation for them.
Good point. Good point. Let's pull up a little bit of actually what black liberation technically is to AI. You know, everything is AI today. It's basically ain't nothing but the thoughts of white folk put into a computer, and you can get to it quicker. That's what AI is.
Right.
Pull up what the internet says about black liberation. Let's read that.
Black liberation is a movement that aims to achieve safety, self-sufficiency, and wholeness for black people.
Now, with that just being said, well, we already know we haven't reached black liberation as a people.
Right.
Achieving safety and self-sufficiency. There's definitely a falsehood of black liberation because God said we would never reach that. Nobody, how much money you got? Go ahead, officer.
So I was gonna say, so then what is the Christian church teaching? What are you saved from?
No.
Where's the liberation? If you still fighting for these rights just as a people, what are you exactly saved from?
What is the self-sufficiency that we have as a people?
Right.
Being able to buy things because you have the access to them does not make you liberated.
Right.
You are a 1,000% dependent.
Facts.
You don't control nothing.
You don't control nothing at all. Nothing at all. Just the only thing you control is where you spend your money. You don't control what you buy at all. You buy what they give you.
Even that they tell you where to buy.
Right,
You cannot
exactly
buy wherever
right.
you want to.
Right,
Oprah learned that.
because when you speak on your phone, they tell you what you want. You speak something, say something to somebody, boom, it pop up right on your phone.
Yep. Get that. Deuteronomy 28:48. Go ahead.
That was going into what Officer Michael was bringing out. Like certain things you can't even import into the country. They won't let you bring it here.
Yeah.
Like certain fruits and
Yeah.
seeds and etc. You can't bring. They say no, you can't bring that stuff in here.
Customs. They'll stop you
right.
at the airport.
Yep.
You're not
Get,
coming in with that.
get the gem. That's what we want.
Read that. Deuteronomy 28:48.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
That's proof that black and Hispanics, we don't have any sort of self-sufficiency at all. God said we would never have it because the clothes that we wear on our back, they come from the people that would put yokes of iron upon our neck, have destroyed us mentally and spiritually and physically as a people. So liberation can't even be equated to black folk when we are not self-sufficient in any way. That's just a falsehood of what the world we live in wants us to believe those things. Let's keep reading what they have for black liberation. And look how much of, I'll explain it when we go to it. Go to it. Go back to it. Let's read it. The bullet points.
Promoting black leadership, building socioeconomic power, transforming society, elevating social, racial, and economic consciousness, ensuring self-determination, healing communities, black-centered community transformation.
Now, let's just leave it up there. Now, look at this. Let's just be honest with ourselves as black folk here. Do we have black leadership in America? Not at all. This is 2024. We don't have black leadership. Hell, even when Obama was in office, it wasn't black leadership because he had a string in his back and he was being moved by the Senate to move past things and all of that stuff. He was being moved by it. It's nobody leading the black race.
That's why you only got a cell phone.
There you go. That's it.
That's all you got.
And Cap, you know how you know that you're not free or on top or ruling? Whenever you got to put black in front of anything.
There you go. Good point. They got to distinguish it. Exactly right. So there's no promoting of black leadership in America from the masses of people. The only leadership that we actually have in Babylon the Great is the bishops and the deacons.
Right.
Literally of Israel united in Christ. That's the only leadership that black Americans have, and they don't even consider the bishops and deacons as leaders. Damn. They consider them as religious fanatics.
There you go.
Black BHIs is what they call us.
Identity extremists.
Identity extremists. So there is no promoting of black leadership. The next one says socioeconomic power, building it. Black people have it, but we don't use it.
Nah.
It is used to maintain the estate of this world. Transforming society, we have not done that because we don't make any laws. If we have transformed the society, it's been for the worst. I'm to be honest with you. We've transformed it for the worst because twerking wasn't a thing until black women turned around and shook their ass.
Right. The main people who pushing for abortions is Democrats.
There you go. Sagging pants, and that's the stuff we've transformed. Filling prison houses.
Right.
We've transformed society in the
Baby
negative
mamas.
way. Doing what?
Baby mamas.
Baby mamas. It's been in the worst way of transforming society. Elevating social, racial, and economic consciousness. No, the only
American.
people that's doing that is the Israelites.
That's it. Find it nowhere else.
Nowhere
No
else.
Hotep group, nobody. They ain't
Nobody.
doing it.
It ain't enough podcasts on the earth that you can say
Right.
No.
social, racial, and economic conscience has been risen. Umar Johnson's trying his best. But, yeah, he just
All
don't
the way.
podcast. He ain't never been in front of no TV
No
on
dignitaries.
NBC, and the most he did was Roland Martin.
That's
from
it.
what I know.
That is it.
Yeah.
You hit it on the
All
head.
the
Maybe I
while
missed
trying to
something.
No, you
smash
hit it right on the head.
the rapper.
Sukihana.
Sukihana.
Rihanna.
The head
He's
of
not
the-
meeting with dignitaries like Bishop
Yeah.
has.
There you go.
He's not traveling the country and meeting with presidents of countries.
Yeah.
He's not doing that.
You're missing the sauce, the secret sauce.
Yeah.
The Most High God. That's what we missing.
Read that paragraph down there, the Black Liberation Movement.
The Black Liberation Movement was a counterculture within the civil rights movement in the United States. It was motivated by a desire for safety and self-sufficiency, and a reaction to the more moderate tendencies of the mainstream civil rights movement.
Okay, so we see that. Let me go to that next one that we got, that next article, or the next link that we have in there. So this is going into the U.S. Constitution. Why have Black people never been able to achieve Black liberation here in America based on the things we saw: the safety, the self-sufficiency, the socio-economic awareness and elevation, the healing of communities? Why have we never been able to get to that point after being I think we are the longest or the oldest immigrant, what they would say, that has been here in America,
Yeah, the
Black
longest.
Americans, the longest. We've been here the longest, meaning we've brought here Native Americans. Our brother Gad was already here, but outside of that, we've been the longest immigrants that was here
Yep.
and haven't been able to achieve liberation, as the definition says, of self-sufficiency. Pull up that. Let's read it and see what it says. Why have we not been able to reach that? Read that.
The U.S. Constitution grants legal status to African Americans through several amendments, including 13th Amendment, ratified in 1865. This amendment abolished slavery in the United States. 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868. This amendment granted citizenship to all people born or naturalized in the United States, including former slaves. It also provided all citizens with equal protection under the laws. 15th Amendment, ratified in 1870. This amendment prohibited states from denying the right to vote to citizens based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. These amendments are collectively known as the Reconstruction Amendments.
So reading that, then, with all the things that have been done for Black Americans post-slavery, you would think that if just reading that and seeing or knowing the history of Black folk and not knowing their present state, you would say, well, Black people are doing good here in America. They are on the equal playing field with every other nation because they've made so many changes in the Constitution to bring them up to the level of white folks and Asians and everybody else, and Amalek and the Jewish man. You would think that they would be on the same level. But within that, it's hidden things that we are being blinded to.
Right.
That you look at it, it's proof that all men ain't created equal in America.
Right.
Not at all. Pull up that video that they got. It's like a 1-minute history of the 3/5 compromise. Look how they used to think about us. Read that. I'll play it.
Audio.
Where we
Delegates at the Constitutional Convention are divided on how slaves will be counted for the purpose of representation in the United States Congress. Northern states don't want slaves to be counted at all, while southern states want them to be counted as a whole person. An agreement is reached, which states that each slave will be counted as 3/5 of a person when determining representation in the House of Representatives and for taxation purposes. As a result of the 3/5 compromise, southern states gain political power while excluding the slave population from the political process. The compromise remains part of the U.S. Constitution until the passage of the 13th Amendment, which abolishes slavery. The 3/5 compromise has long been a stain on the merits of the U.S. Constitution, while reminding Americans of its complicated and painful history with slavery.
Now, listening to that, you would think that you know that had been eradicated and we live in a different age. But we in what I know, looking at the political process and things of how black folk live, they still use black people for political power,
Right, yep.
and black people still don't get a gain from it. What's that guy named Sleepy Joe Biden? Went out and said that you ain't black if you don't vote for me.
Right.
And they elected him, and black people are being hit the worst with the inflation, the cost of living across America, and are sinking in that thing. What it is. So basically, they gain political power, they get into the White House, or they get into government positions, and nothing's being done for black people to change their conditions. And this is the one thing we don't understand. 4 years ain't enough time to change, to reverse 300 something years, man. Get that in Leviticus chapter 26. We're going to read this. Leviticus chapter 26, and I want you to read verse 14 on down.
Leviticus.
Why we was considered 3/5 of a man. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 14. But if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that you will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
God said he was going to appoint over us terror. And that's what the falsehood of black liberation is that we are trying to escape the hand of God, that he has appointed over us terror, that we think if we vote the 14th, the 15th, the 13th Amendment is going to change it would change the way of where we lived at for the better. But when God said that I will appoint over you terror, there's nothing that man can do to change that unless God says I'm going to change that. It's nothing at all. Keep reading in that.
I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague, that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And you shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it.
Read on.
And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you.
Read on.
And you shall flee when none pursue you.
Here's the point I wanted to get to. Verse 18.
And if you will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins.
So even if the 13th Amendment, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment, go back to that, pull it, because those things are, you would say, coming from 1619, or even before that, the 1500s are being brought over here in slave ships. Looking at those things right there, those will be seen as positives to somebody that is comparing our start of being slaves to where we are right now.
Yeah.
They would be considered positives. But when God said, if you don't keep my commandments, then this will happen. I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. Even the things that seem to be positives for you will turn around and it will be worse for you.
Right.
7 times worse for you.
You know how 7 times worse for you, because God says that we are above all nations.
Yeah.
What this does is causes and forces us to assimilate. Right? God says you are above. White man write this and say, no, you got to assimilate into my culture for me to even recognize you as a whole person and not 3/5. God says you are the greatest thing that I've ever created, above everything. But white man said, nope. And in order for us to give you a crumb, you got to be just like us. You got to talk like us. You got to dress like us. You got to celebrate what we celebrate. And if you have any inkling of going against what we say, we're going to throw your behind back in slavery, throw you in jail. We're going to make you lose your job. We're going to make you lose your family. All of these things. Candace Owen find that out right now.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Go pull that back up, and I want you to just scroll down a little bit on it. It was a little bit something up under the bullet points. Scroll down. All right. Right there. Let me see. It says something about the 13th, 14th, 15th. Scroll up. Scroll back up. No, go back up. Go back up. Okay. I don't see it on that one. Yeah, on mine says this is like the last link, 13, 14, 15th Amendment. Okay, go scroll back down and read that what the thought is right there.
From the nation's founding, African Americans regarded themselves as citizens.
No, we didn't. That's a damn lie. Straight lie. Go ahead.
When the U.S. Constitution was ratified in 1788, it did not restrict citizenship based on race. However, it only counted enslaved people as 3/5 of a person rather than as full citizens in state populations.
Now, that thought still ain't changed. I'm going to tell you that right now. It has not changed. How do we know that black folk are still looked at as 3/5 of a person? I don't have it on me, but it's been going viral. A white girl walked around and asked black people who they was voting for. Everybody said Kamala. Mm-hmm. They asked them, what has she promised to do for black people? And you know what they saying? Bring joy. That's what their answers are. Bring joy to the earth.
They just vote for her because she black.
Bring happiness to the White House.
What the hell that
you
mean?
know why? That she don't have to tell you what she's gonna do or anything for you?
Right.
Because they still consider you 3/5 of a man.
Right.
Yep. 3/5 of a person.
And that's
go ahead.
That's what happens when you are a broken people, where now the mentality is not trying to live, it's just survival.
That's how you know they don't believe in God. That's how you know they don't believe in Christ. Because I was meditating on this. I know we gotta go to the next, but I was meditating on this earlier this week. What is the gospel that Christ preached? What is that he preached? Can I get a script real quick? Give me Luke chapter 4. Start at verse 17. Read it kind of quick. Because if you don't, they always go to where 1 Corinthians 15 that Christ died and whatever. That's not. This is the gospel. What? Read this. Read that.
Luke chapter 4, verse 17. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind.
Read.
To set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord."
Right. So Christ said, "This is the gospel to liberate the captives." Okay. It says that he was reading from the book of Isaiah. Go to Isaiah 61 and see what he was reading from. Read. Because Christ kind of made it abbreviated. He just said boom, 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 boom. Isaiah actually explained what he was saying. Read.
Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to...
Start at verse 2.
Verse 2. To proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance.
What?
The day of vengeance.
So the gospel is the day of vengeance. Read.
Of our God, to comfort all that mourn.
Aren't we mourning? Cap just went over that earlier. We are at mourning. We are in mourning, right? And when you read Isaiah 61, it's Christians might say, "Oh yeah, we're right. That pertains to everybody." Read on.
To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion.
And where?
In Zion.
So it's specifically Christ. When Christ was reading it in Luke, Isaiah says this liberation, this vengeance is for the Israelites, one that mourn in Zion. Read.
To give unto them beauty for ashes.
Read.
The oil of joy for mourning.
Speed up.
The garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks.
So the strangers is the other nations. Are they feeding our flocks? Are they serving us? Or are we serving them every single day? Read.
And the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers.
Verse 6.
But ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Men shall call you the ministers of our God.
Are they calling us that? They calling us black Hebrew Israelites.
Right,
they calling us niggas. They
Gentiles.
snatch Gentiles and snatchers of our cars. Read.
Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles.
We the poorest people on the planet.
Yep.
It says we shall eat the riches of the Gentiles.
And in their glory,
their
shall
money,
ye boast yourselves.
Their money, their gold, all of their riches, their high rises.
Yeah.
We shall do what?
And in their glory shall you boast yourselves.
If you keep on reading, the Isaiah goes more and more deep. Christ is preaching the gospel, which is liberation for the Israelites.
And with the gospel too, it lets you know the reason why God would title it that is because we never heard good news up until now.
That's some good news right there.
Yeah, 100%. Give me that in Psalm 44, 13, 14 and 15. It's exactly right. That's good news. But this is where we at right now.
Right.
In our state as a nation that we're in denial of, but we're going to bring it out. We're going to put this truth in your face and make you acknowledge it. Psalm 44, 14, 15.
Psalms chapter 44, verse 14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people.
That's 3/5 of a person. That is what 3/5 of a person looks like. That's what it looks like where we keep on voting, whether it be Republican or whether it be Democrat. It don't damn matter. People shake their head at us and wonder, why do we keep voting if nothing ever changes for us as a people? We don't have our own hospitals. We don't have better health care. We don't have better education. We don't have more wealth as a people. And this is one thing we got to acknowledge too. Even if Trump gets into office for 4 years, what's your plan after those 4 years? Because we so man, get Trump in there. He's for black people. He gonna do this. He gonna do that. Well, what's gonna happen when he leaves in 4 years?
Right.
You're going right back to where we came from.
Right.
Right back to the status, because that's where you are at that point.
He only gave you what, $1,200? He only gave you $1,200.
And that's exactly what the people waiting on.
They waiting for
They just waiting for a
$200.
STEMI check to come back. That's how you know we still have that same dependent mentality.
That's what they call it.
That's what they call it.
Cap,
They call it a STEMI check.
They spent that STEMI check in a week.
Oh,
Gone.
it's gone.
Some Negroes in jail right now for them stimmy checks.
PPP.
PPP. Yeah, in jail right now. Read that again, verse 14.
Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people.
That's when they looked at us as 3/5 of a person, and they still do those things. They just don't openly say it. Verse 15.
My confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face has covered me.
The shame, the confusion, and the shame that we have amongst us is why isn't things changing for us as a people? If we supposed to be liberated, we supposed to be equal, we supposed to have these unalienable rights that was promised to all people, how are we still in this condition or worse off than we was when we was fighting against struggle, fighting against oppression? How is it that we keep going backwards as a people? That's the confusion that is in that is so much confusion and shame in our people's face. You know what they do? They close their eyes to it. They close their eyes
spiritually and physically.
Spiritually, hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. I don't even want to open my eyes to really what y'all talking about. I ain't trying to hear that. And a lot of people don't want to talk to us because they don't want to face that reality of where they are in their life or where we are as a people. They want to look at it as the glass half full all the time.
Because that damn mirror is bright as hell when it's in front of you. And you know that they don't want to say it because when you ask them who has got their hand on our neck and their foot on, they're scared to say it. We got yeah, you looking around like. Then they might whisper it.
They do the
and you
Camp
won't-
Pew skit.
They do what?
The Camp Pew.
Yeah.
That's what you call fair.
And that's why they don't come off their porch, because they like when we talking about addressing the things that's happened to us nation as a nation, they would say, well, I'm good. I'm all right.
Yeah, good
I'm
point.
okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
My house is over here.
They individualize themselves.
Yeah.
Get that in Daniel chapter 9, verse 7. Daniel 9, verse 7. Because this is Daniel. Daniel was in captivity, but Daniel was realistic about his situation. He was not naive to it and talking about this is the best thing that ever happened to us to get brought to Babylon and be up under the hand of Nebuchadnezzar and have all these idols around us and him telling us we got bow down whenever we hear the music and worship his idol God. He wasn't living in a damn fruitopia or utopia in his mind. He was real with it. Read that Daniel 9:7.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day.
He was honest with himself.
Yeah.
Confusion of faces. I'm going to show you what confusion of faces looks like if you honest with yourself as a person. Get that in 2nd Ezra. Watch this. 2nd Ezra chapter 3. This is what confusion of faces looks like when you think you are liberated. 2nd Ezra chapter 3, and I want you to read verse 30.
2nd Ezra chapter 3 and verse 30. For I have seen how thou
Read it again.
For I have seen how thou suffered them sinning.
Stop right there. You know how confusion of faces it is with us amongst the people? What do we tell our people when we see white folk do something and then we'll compare it to black folk? We'll say what? You can't do what them white folk do. No, you can't. Black folk can't do that. You can't tell that cop, I'm going to roll up my window.
There you go.
My license registration. You can't tell that cop, get my ticket so I can go. I know my rights. You can't tell them that. No. They can sin like that, and God don't judge them for it because it ain't their time. You do that, God said, I'm going to punish your ass 7 times more. That's the confusion of faces because we supposed to be liberated. We got the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment that makes us equal. We can vote. We are citizens now. Well, how come God suffers them to sin and not us? It don't make no sense. That's because we the children of Israel.
Right.
God, it says, I have seen how thou sufferest them to sin. So Ezra was in a state of confusion. Like, why is this happening? Keep reading.
For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and hast destroyed thy people.
And have done what?
Destroyed thy people.
Punished them 7 times more. We are in the prison houses. We are going through hell. We are catching hell. Our kids can't read on grade level. Our kids are flunking out dropping out in high school. Our women are have the most abortions in America. In the world. They spared the wicked doers. Keep reading. And has destroyed thy people. Keep reading.
And has preserved thine enemies. And has not signified it.
Keep reading.
I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion?
That's the confusion of faces. Are white people better than us as black people?
Right.
How are they able to do all of this wickedness and it don't apply to them, but somehow we get punished for them? Are white folk better than us? And some people faces, minds be confused, and they actually believe that.
Yeah.
They think that, and they start doing what? They start talking like them. They start acting mannerisms like them. They start blonding their hair like them. They start marrying them.
Right.
And hating their own people
And hating
like them.
And hating their own people.
And Cap, it's all because a lot of times we have forgotten the vision that God gave us. We've been reading thy enemy, thy oppressor.
Cap, because remember, us leaders, that believe, we the children of Israel, we know that those people are enemy.
Yeah.
But those are the scornful men that Isaiah spoke about. Those are what they call they deal wisely with us. They put taskmaster over us to subdue our intelligence, to say, oh yeah, these people, we got the same playing field. Playing field with the rest of the nation.
Yeah.
But why we suffer? Those are the same scornful men that are based us, that make a covenant with these white men to tell us, oh yeah, everything is good in America. We all got freedom.
Yeah.
Falsehood.
Good point. Read verse 33.
2nd Ezra, chapter 3, verse 33. And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth.
White folk do what?
Flow in wealth.
Come on, man. We know they do. It's statistics that say we are 200 years behind the black race in America.
Right.
is 200 years behind in wealth than white America. That's the truth. They flow in wealth.
That's why there's no way for us to catch up in this current state. There's no way to catch up. That's why when you read in scriptures where Christ said he's got to, the forces of the Gentiles have to be brought to us because there's no way for us to catch up because we decided we wanted them over us. We decided we wanted to follow their ways. We decided that we wanted to do everything they want to do and deny our God. God said, okay,
I got something for you.
Damn.
For I have gone there and here and there and through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth. Read on.
And think not upon thy commandments.
Come on, man. We all know that them white Christians and them damn we know they evil. We already, you know why? Because you ain't in they damn churches.
Right.
Go up in their church down there in Alabama. Ask the people from the South. They'll tell you, them white people, we don't go to them churches over there.
Right.
They don't let us in.
What do you say? Malcolm X, the most separated hour.
Yep.
High noon on Sunday.
High noon on Sunday. Now read this, verse 34.
Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
Hey, read it.
Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
There you go. That's confusion of faces. Well, how is it that they are able to prosper, have so much wealth, they on top, and we have, quote unquote, the same rights as them, but they still ain't equal. We're still not technically liberated as a black people where we have safety, we have the socioeconomic conscience, we self-sufficient. How is it still that we don't have those things, but we can still vote? That's the confusion of faces when you sit down and look at yourself in the Bible.
So Cap, God was telling them, I never made you equal to the heathen. I made you greater.
Yep.
That's
made you
what
greater.
saying. I made you greater.
That's it. And ain't gonna be no equal with it. You either gonna be greater or your ass is gonna be below them. Ain't gonna be no equal with them.
Yeah, that's it. Because anytime you hear or look at the definition for assimilation, that means to be absorbed into a culture that's already existing.
Right. Hey, I got a video. Real quick video. It's only a minute long. I'm gonna repost it right now. Get ready.
Have they pulled it up on that?
I don't know.
Post it in it's in the show articles group. FCN show articles group.
There you go.
Good point
Play
with that
video.
absorption.
It's about cultural assimilation, what it is.
With that absorption, that lets you know that you're gonna lose your identity.
Absolutely.
Good point. Yep. Go ahead. Play that.
Unmuted.
Unmute.
Amazing.
Bring it out. Yeah, y'all just got to unmute all of that, the whole thing. So you ain't got to keep doing that. Go ahead. Oh, no sound still.
What is cultural assimilation? Broadly construed, cultural assimilation refers to the process in which a minority group or culture assumes the behaviors, values, rituals, and beliefs of their host nation's majority group. It is important to note that the term cultural assimilation is often used to describe immigrants who have migrated to new locations. However, it is also used to discuss indigenous groups.
So
It is also
basically that's saying immigrated to a place that would be us brought here in slavery.
There you go, like you mentioned
then
earlier.
indigenous groups also assimilate, and that's colonialism.
Colonialism. That's it. That's exactly what you see. See how it mentioned up there, the process in which the minority groups or cultures assume behaviors, rituals, right? Values, rituals, and beliefs.
So of the host
of the
nation.
There you go. That ruling class.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. They tried to merge that all in one.
Well, that's black people because we have mannerisms or behaviors like these people here. Values, we have those same things. Rituals, Sunday church, and all the other foolishness we got, and our beliefs that God love everybody and Christ is saving everybody. those things, you go back over where we came from, before we had encounters with Edomites, those were not our thoughts. We didn't behave this way. We didn't have values this way. We didn't have rituals. No. We didn't dress like this, what they got in this little racist ass picture right here. Not even the Aztecs and Mayans dressed like this. They didn't do this on the regular. How do we know that? Because they got the daggone Indian clothes now where they fully clothed. And you don't never see no pictures like that. They always dress them naked like this.
They're just telling you they're savages.
There you go. That's it.
Right.
Amazing.
Go ahead. Keep playing the video.
Important to note that people are often encouraged or pressured to culturally assimilate, but these changes are often forced.
Is what forced?
Indigenous, immigrant, and ethnic minority groups often change or hide elements of their own culture.
You see? Hold on. Hide elements of their own culture. So they force, because they gravitate to exactly what Esau does, and they want to assimilate the same way, the same beliefs. Sometimes it's forced. They'll ridicule you. We can't understand. You need to conform. Speak English.
There you go.
Right?
And perm your hair. Damn hair too thick.
Too crazy.
Go ahead.
And one thing too about that assimilation is that you start to forget your God. So that's the reason. That's how they will always stay on top, because it's subtle, but it's still trying to keep you away from who you are.
Yep.
Let me get a script in that. Ezekiel 25:8. Now watch this. Watch how we have a falsehood of liberation in these two scriptures. I'm going to reverse scripture it. Ezekiel 25:8.
Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 8. Thus said the Lord God, because that Moab and Seir say.
That's Chinese and white folks, right? Go ahead.
Behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen.
We have done what? We have hid our own culture to take on their culture. We took on their beliefs, their values, their rituals, and those things, right? Now go back to Ezekiel 20, verse 32. Why did we take on those things? Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 32. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone.
So in that process of assimilation, we accepted these things. We didn't fight them off. We fully accepted Christmas. We accepted Thanksgiving. How do we know that? Because when we try to implement our own beliefs or culture into society, we reject it. And I keep going back to this point at all. I never knew what the hell Kwanzaa was until my senior year of high school. Never heard of it at all. My granny had us celebrating Christmas every year of my life. Kwanzaa was never celebrated. No. We reject, and I'm pretty sure my family knew about it. Hell, they was born before me. They heard of the stuff. They never took on that culture and took it back to themselves, because they was fully assimilated into the what does that say? The dominant or the host nations, the host nations' beliefs.
Today, Cap, our people reject Juneteenth. They reject MLK Day. They don't. They change it because they don't want to. Because if you study and you meditate on what it is, it's gonna let you know that you're oppressed and you're fighting against oppression.
Yep. Good point.
They rather change Santa from being white to black.
Yeah, instead of not celebrating.
Yeah.
You're right that we have rejected it and changed it, because now Juneteenth and stuff is just get-togethers.
Yeah, that's it.
And music, partying, drinking, smoking. There ain't no history about slavery going on at Juneteenth. Not at all. All right. Play that video that Cap had in there.
Play that video.
Black people didn't get free from white people in North America.
Hold on, start it over. Y'all listen to this. Y'all listen to this carefully. Black people did not get freed.
Go back
Play
to
that
video.
Go to the other video. Listen.
Black people didn't get free from white people in North America. Black people got assimilated by white people in North America. If black people were free from white people, they would have institutions separate from white people. They would have their own separate government. They'd have their own separate land. They'd have their own separate resources. They'd have autonomy, sovereignty, self-reliance. Black people don't have any of these things. Black people got one freedom in emancipation. They got the freedom to not be born as chattel slaves. That's it. That is literally it. Everything else that has happened from then until now has been privileges under subjugation of white people.
Man, that's heavy.
Freedom from slavery means nothing if you don't have freedom from the people who are enslaving you. And the reason why a lot of black people don't think about this way is that they killed all the people who thought of it this way.
Good, heavy point. That goes back to what we was the point of the definition of black liberation.
Yep.
Black liberation went into having your own leaders. We don't have those. The only leaders is the Israelites, and our people reject it. So you can't say that Black America, you have liberation when they kill off your leaders. When you push to get it, they kill them.
Right.
They kill off the leaders that think different from the overall assimilation, that don't want to be assimilated. They kill them. That's a heavy video.
And when you know, if you was sovereign or you was liberated, when you think about a country, when they kill their leaders, what happened? They go to war.
Oh, yeah. It's war.
Oh, it's war.
What
It's
happened
war.
when they killed our leaders? Kumbaya.
We marched.
We
I'm
marched.
a man.
I'm a man. That means you have no power to even avenge any of the killing of our leaders.
Good point.
Because
I said it would happen. Go
the
ahead.
biggest liberator they had was Christ.
Yeah, we killed it.
We killed him.
We killed it. Damn. But look, but what he was talking about liberation too, though, that lets you know that we never had it, but all other ethnic groups that have come here have been liberated. Muslim people, they got their own damn religion and their own mosque.
Right.
Black people got Christian churches.
There you go.
You got Christian churches that was established by white folk.
Mm-hmm.
Chinese folk got their own damn Chinatown.
Yep.
They got their own hospitals. They got their own police forces. What was you gonna say, officer?
Nah, saying it, and it has not been bombed yet.
It has not been bombed. They've been liberated.
Every city got a Chinatown.
Yeah.
Every city. We just came from Oakland.
Oakland.
They
One of the
had a
biggest
damn
Chinatowns.
the streets got Chinese names on them.
And words and all the buildings.
You don't even want to go to California. They all over there.
What you say? Give us Martin Luther King Street.
And every one of them got gangbangers on it and fighting and
The worst. Go to that 13th.org that we got right there. Now look at this. Read that about the U.S. Constitution.
The U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, the 3/5 clause, ratified 1788, courtesy of National Archives, Charters of Freedom
Now
exhibit.
we're just going to read this first paragraph. Look what it says. Read that.
Although the Constitution did not refer directly to slaves, it did not.
Hold on, wait a minute. The Constitution didn't do what?
Did not refer directly to slaves.
You know why? Because you're not a citizen. You're a denizen.
Right.
That's why we, the people, was not talking about us. Dang. We wasn't brought here to be citizens in the land of our captivity.
Right.
We was brought here for punishment's sake, to get our mind right so we can leave here. But when we got here, we said, damn, this is what we used to. Right. Being a slave, I think I'm going to stay here. What did God say in Jeremiah 2:14? Is Israel a homeborn slave?
Why is he spoiled?
God said, when I send them there in this kind of oppression, they're going to have to depend on their enemies for food, for clothing, for drink, and everything they can think of. For sure, they're going to be like, Lord, take us back home. We got here and said, man, we're going to be just like these heathen around here. I like it here. What's better than here?
Right.
Let's stay here, y'all.
Because they knew when they wrote this Constitution, the founders envisioned that slavery was going to be forever.
Yep.
When they wrote "We the People" of this, whatever that piece of crap say, they did not say, well, in 250 years, okay, we're going to have to amend this. We're going to have to do 1865. We're going to have to. No, they wrote it with the intentions of rulership forever.
Some might not have agreed with it at that time, but the majority ruled. All of it was like, nah, these niggas going to be our servants forever.
Right. Everybody that signed that damn paper thought we was going to be, hey, I got me by 13, you got 17, I got 45.
There you go.
Every one of them has slaves.
And the crazy thing is they all had the Bible.
Yeah.
So what was John 3:16?
John 3:16 was in their Bible.
It was in there,
It
right?
was in there, Cap. I know it was.
Sure.
They didn't have the slave edition.
Right.
So John 3:16 was in their Bible. Neither Jew nor Greek was in their Bible. Love your neighbor as yourself was in their Bible. It might not have been in the slave Bible.
Right.
It was in theirs.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not steal. It was in theirs.
No bond, no free.
They looked right over there and said, these niggas is 3/5.
Hey, you said no bond, no free. Was in that motherfucker.
Read that. Although the construction of the Constitution, start from the top.
Although the Constitution did not refer directly to slaves, it did not ignore them entirely. Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution of the United States declared that any person who was not free would be counted as 3/5 of a free individual for the purposes of determining congressional representation.
Basically, so we can profit off of them, like they've always done. And it says that. Give me that in Revelation. Now, look at this. We are looking at it. No, go back to it. I'm going to pull it up. Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution is written in the Bible. Here's the proof of it. Give me that in Revelation. I think you know what I want. Let's see. Let's see if you got your Professor XO. Call the chat. Let's see what you got.
He don't know.
Crickets. Revelation 18.
Come on.
Revelation 18, verse 12 and 13.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 12. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble.
Now, where are these located at? Jump back over to Revelation 18, and I want you to read verse 2.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen.
So the place is Babylon the Great. It's not the ancient Babylon. This is Babylon the Great, which is known as America in the Bible. Now, it says the merchandise they had was all of these things. Now, jump back over to verse 13.
Verse 13. And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves.
And what?
And slaves and souls of men.
So how did they get rich? How did they establish their country or their society? Off of slaves and the souls of man. Those slaves were considered what? 3/5 of a human being. That's how they established their congressional representation and established their country was off the slaves and souls of man. They called us 3/5 of one. Go back to it. The 3/5 clause, let's pick up there.
The 3/5 clause thus increased the political power of slaveholding states.
That's how they got all of that cinnamon, the odors, the ointments, and all of those from the slaves and souls of man. But watch this point, though. Read.
It did not, however...
Although it mentioned us, they profited off us, it did not, however...
make any attempt to ensure that the interests of slaves would be represented in the government.
Now, here's the question. Pull me back up. I want to look directly into the camera of the people that's going to watch this.
Look in your face.
Look in your face. Can we truly say as a people that we are seen as more than 3/5 of a man today based on what this just said? It did not, however, make any attempt to ensure that the interests of slaves would be represented in the government. Are we more than 3/5 of a man in 2024 to them? Or are we still half a human being? Because if you look out in today's times, the interests of black folk are not represented.
Right. Even till today, they still trying to fight to get black people into the Supreme Court.
There you go.
They still trying to fight to get black people into Congress.
There you go. You know what we call it? They call it representation.
Representation.
There you go.
The Constitution is still active today. That's how we're judged in court by the law. They still use those old laws to pass judgment on us. And then when we don't get justice, we're surprised because the law was never given to us to get justice.
There you go. That's because in their eyes, we still seen as 3/5 of a person, and the Constitution never had made an attempt to ensure the interests of slaves would be represented in the government. So basically what we say really don't mean a damn thing.
Cap, that's the souls of men. They make you
there
believe.
You go.
That's a philosophy they brought on. They make you believe that you're free. And then guess what? There is no
heavy. That's heavy
nothing
point.
for you.
And when they wrote the Constitution, they didn't rewrite it. It's still the same
it's still the
words
same. That's what he
from
said.
1700.
They ratified it.
Right. And so when they wrote it, they had no intentions for us. So now you fast forward, they don't even know how to apply the laws pertaining to men to us. That's why they always get to some point to where, damn, how did he get off of this? But you got 1,500 years.
Yeah. Why is it only black folk keep getting out of jail after 30 years of false imprisonment?
Right. And you ain't never seen no Chinese man or nobody come up say, damn, he got
40.
Man, they falsely imprisoned that white dude. That's the 10th one I done saw. You won't see
Never.
it.
You don't
Go
see
ahead,
it.
Officer Asdai, you hear something?
Yeah, so just real quick, they even told you they planned in that video. In the video, it says some states they wanted to count them, and some states they didn't. So whenever they need to count us, now they go for the black vote.
Good. Damn, good catch, man. That's it right there. You hit it on the head. Give me that Lamentations 4, verse 17.
Man,
you got it? Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, Cap.
Bring it out. Lamentations 4, verse 17. Now watch it. You can bring out 17. I got something for verse 18. Go ahead.
2 minute scriptures.
Bring it up. Let's read.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes is yet failed for our vain help.
Our what?
Our vain help.
Because that's what it is. It's vain help. They got you to this point where now, I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican now. You have hope. But no, the still angle still stays there. There's still standard of, no, we're going to rule over you and give you this illusion that you're going to win.
There you go.
That you have a say-so in this country while they have our foot on their neck. Is going to remain.
But the Constitution never intended to have any interest of the slaves would be represented in government.
Read on. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
That watching means hope. Replace that watching with hope. We had false hope in a nation that we thought would give us justice.
Damn.
And the crazy thing is, our people are so jacked up. Like you said earlier, they asked what has Kamala promised to black folk. They asked Kamala that. She said, oh, no, I would never do nothing for black people only.
Yeah.
Nah, hell, nothing. She started looking like the lady off, oh, no. What's that?
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Oh, no. They asked her, what are you going to do? Nah, I'm not doing nothing specific for black people. But she went on stage.
Just lied.
She went on stage and said, we're going to pass just for Jewish people.
Yep.
So black people don't get nothing. Jewish people get something. But you're going to vote for her because you get happiness? I don't know.
That's it. Good.
And you know, she went home that night and she said, husband, you can't believe why one of them Nick asked me.
Yeah. They think they're really represented in the government. Read verse 18 now, though, real quick.
Verse 18. They hunt our steps.
Stop right there. When do they hunt our steps? When do they track us down? When it's time to vote. Damn. When do they show up to HBCUs? When it's time to vote.
When they go to your black church.
When they go to your black church? When it's time to vote. They hunt niggas down when it's time to vote. Because they need that 3/5 of a vote to get over the top.
Yeah.
That's why the Bible calls them in Zechariah prisoners of hope.
Yes.
You give us a little bit of hope, we'll cling on to that, and you become our best friend.
Good point.
They go to your black church and don't even know how to dance to the music.
Man, Joe Biden was like, he was stuck.
Like, what is all of these sounds?
You remember that Deacon Malachi brought it out in Super Cell about the melanin and stuff, how we hear music differently. He heard all them damn instruments. It was overload. It was sensory overload.
What do I do?
He froze.
Oh, man.
I don't know how to move to this.
Like putting moisture on a gremlin.
Yeah.
He ain't going nowhere.
Stuck.
Hey,
He heard dial tone. That's what he heard.
Go to that next, pull up that next article and look at this here real quick. It's talking about systemic inequality because this is the reality of where we are as a people. You got to dig and find stuff for somebody to tell the truth and not sugarcoat it and give you the prisoner of hope theory.
Yes,
that, man, everything's good for black folk. Look, 1619 was slave trades, but right now, look, you can vote for somebody. And then you be like, man, look how much progress we done made. No, man, we ruled the earth. The earth was made for us. We don't want this damn crumbs.
Right.
Read that. What it say?
Systematic inequality and American democracy. While the nation has undoubtedly made progress, entrenched structural racism continues to corrupt American democracy and preserve racial inequality.
All right, so let's go down to voting and citizenship right there. We're going to read, is that it right there? Yep, let's read that real quick.
Voting and citizenship were largely denied to people of color until 1870.
Until 1870, right? Now, that's what it says. Okay. Now you're like, okay, 1870, we started getting into political positions and things of that nature. Yeah, okay. It was some representation of us being there. But let's read the paragraph fairly quickly.
The very first law codifying naturalization in the United States restricted national citizenship to free white people of good character, while free black
Ain't
men...
no white folk got good character.
Right.
That's based on their evil ass. Are you the devil? Man, you got good character, boy. You're a good devil. Go ahead.
While free black men were at times permitted to vote in some states, enslaved black people, who constituted more than 85% of the nation's black population, between 1790 and 1860 were unable to vote anywhere in the United States.
Go ahead.
Even in states such as Pennsylvania, where Quakers preached racial tolerance. Free African Americans who were legally permitted to vote rarely exercised this right for fear of retribution. In 1857, the infamous U.S. Supreme Court decision in Dred Scott v. Sanford ruled that no black person could become a citizen of the United States and thus had no protections to exercise their right to vote.
Man, go ahead.
By 1865, virtually all white men were permitted to vote in presidential elections, whereas black men were permitted to vote in just 6 states.
Let's read that next part.
In the wake of the Civil War, the United States ratified the 14th and 15th Amendments.
We read about that earlier, right? 13th Amendment was slavery was gone, except when we put you in jail, so we're going to put all your ass in jail, put you in prison, right? 14th Amendment, the ones we don't catch, 14th, 15th Amendments, y'all going to be able to vote. And we're gonna call y'all citizens, but y'all still 3/5 of a human being in the Constitution, okay? Just so we can use y'all for more power for ourselves. Keep reading.
Granting citizenship to all people born or naturalized in the country and prohibiting disenfranchisement based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. The nation also adopted 3 bills called the Enforcement Acts between 1870 and 1871. That criminalized voter suppression and provided federal oversight in elections.
So they did away with that. Okay. Go ahead.
These laws broke the back of the first iteration of the Ku Klux Klan.
Man, we stood upon our feet. Go ahead.
And led to hundreds of arrests.
Man, we got justice. Go ahead.
Indictments and convictions for those who sought to interfere with black citizens' rights to vote.
Uh-huh.
By 1877, the end of the 12-year period known as Reconstruction, at least 1,510 black Americans had held elected office on every level of government.
Oh, man, we was in there. This is the American dream. Black liberation has finally been realized. Go ahead.
From clerks and school superintendents to congressional representatives and U.S. senators.
Can you scroll down to the... Whoa, wait a minute. Right up under that, up under all that good news, what does that say?
The unfulfilled promise of Reconstruction.
Wait a minute, man. What happened to all that black liberation? All of that being in the government places as superintendents and teachers and stuff. Well, all this black liberation, it was gone in just a scroll down of a paragraph? That quick it was gone? Damn. Jeez. Go ahead, read that.
The end of the Civil War marked an inflection point in U.S. history. The destruction of slavery as a legal institution and the passage of the 14th and 15th Amendments promised to usher in a new age of American freedom and democracy. With the support of the U.S. Army and the Freedmen's Bureau, millions of newly freed African Americans gained access to property ownership, education, and political participation for the first time. The federal government and thousands of volunteers reconstructed the Southern economy, building schools, banks, and hospitals for liberated black families.
That's the Black Wall Streets, the Tulsa, Oklahoma, that's in Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street, and then you got the Greenwoods, and then you got the Rosewoods of Florida. You've got other places in North Carolina and things of that nature, right? That's what that is speaking of. Go ahead.
And helped protect these families from white nationalist terrorism. For a time, federal officials even helped implement Special Field Order Number 15.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not liberated at all when you have to have the Army protect you from white national terrorism. You're not being liberated at all. You're being given privileges that other white folk want to take away from you. You're not equal still at this point. Go ahead.
Which mandated the redistribution of roughly 400,000 acres of land confiscated from Confederate planters to newly freed black families
in what?
In 40-acre segments.
In 40-acre segments. Did your family get 40 acres? You get 40 acres?
Nope.
Y'all got 40 acres? I ain't got none of that. Nope. That wasn't passed down to me at all. Nope. So we didn't get that. Okay. But let's keep reading.
But lawmakers' commitment to protecting the constitutional and human rights of black citizens did not last.
It what?
Did not last.
It did not last. It was over in a damn decade. Blink of an eye. Go ahead.
Widespread support for Reconstruction faded by the 1870s, and the election of President Rutherford B. Hayes signaled the impending end of the era. The death of Reconstruction fueled resurgence of white nationalist violence, occupational segregation, and racial discrimination designed to trap black Americans in a semi-permanent status of second-class citizenship.
And a what? Semi-permanent status of second-class citizenship. Why? Because it's in the Constitution. Keep reading.
The cornerstone of these efforts was the systematic disenfranchisement and suppression of black voters.
Now, that was old. That's back in the 1870s. Things have changed. I know we have come a long way. We have overcome. Let's just keep going. Let's go to show them images of the bullet points in this article, because we have overcome. We walked across Selma Bridge. We got hit in the head with a brick, watermelon. But things is good now. Let's read just the bullet points of this article. Go ahead. Read that.
Lawmakers continue to exclude and suppress Americans of color even after the 14th and 15th Amendments.
So they took away voting and the damn being a citizen. Gone. Okay, keep reading.
After Reconstruction, white nationalists waged a campaign of terror to suppress black voters and seize control of southern state legislatures.
Go to the next one.
The systematic exclusion and suppression of voters of color during this period was not limited to southern states.
So even in the North, in New York, you Negroes couldn't vote. They didn't want you voting either.
In the West either.
And the West. Go ahead.
The civil rights movement dismantled many obstacles to electoral participation.
Now the civil rights. Now we look at it, the civil rights. So this is when it came. Things got better when we stood up for ourselves. Go to the next bullet point. We reading that. Go to the next one.
The United States has experienced a resurgence of voter suppression.
Still, even after civil rights. And what year is that?
In 2012.
In where?
2012.
In 2012. Go to the next one.
The U.S. Supreme Court gave states the green light to suppress voters of color.
In what year?
In 2013.
In 2013.
Read the court case.
The U.S. Supreme Court's decision in Shelby County versus Holder.
So if you wanted to go and read it for yourself, it's Shelby County versus Holder.
Keep reading. What it say?
Gutted Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act by declaring the formula used to determine covered jurisdictions unconstitutional.
So all that stuff that happened back in 1965, the Voters' Right Act, the Supreme Court said in 2013, man, throw that stuff in the trash, man. Throw it back in the trash. Put them back where they're supposed to be. It's the Supreme Court, y'all. Now read the next one.
Millions of Americans of color remain structurally excluded from American democracy.
Read it again.
Millions of Americans of color remain structurally excluded from American democracy.
Now give me that in Isaiah chapter 31. I want to show you something. Isaiah chapter 31 real quick. because this is the falsehood of black liberation. Isaiah 31, start at 1.
Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
That's where we are right now. We in spiritual Egypt. Get it in Revelation chapter 11. Lingo, Joshua, you can get that, Revelation 11. You stay where you are, Reuben. We are down in Egypt right now. Read it.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Spiritually Sodom and spiritually Egypt. That's where we are right now. We are here and we keep going down to these damn voter booths and whatever else and the protesting and hitting the streets and whatever it is. We keep going down to Egypt for help. Go back to Isaiah 31. Let's read it.
Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots.
Trust in their armies. Trust in their political systems. Go ahead.
Because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
We haven't done that. And the way that you seek the Holy One of Israel is through his commandments and the faith in his son. Going to Christian church is not seeking the Lord. That's going there for a concert.
I guarantee you right now, what time is it? 9:43. Right now, half of the, or more than half of the black population is watching the damn debate with Kamala and what's his name? Trump. Everybody was talking about it at the job, so I know they ain't reading no Bible.
Nah,
I know they ain't trying to seek God's face. I know they ain't trying to seek the Holy One of Israel.
Nah, not at all. Nor his laws. Verse 2.
Verse 2. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity.
Now look what God says. All of that stuff that the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment was passed, and you've seen how even through the process of time, through the decades, that it still ain't working for us as a people at all. Verse 3.
Now the Egyptians are men and not God.
That's what we have forgotten as a people. Right. We don't trust in God no more. We trust in vote or die. Are you signed up to vote? All in the damn Walmart parking lots and bugging me. Yeah. I got to cross the street and walk down and go around the parking lot to escape your ass saying something to me. Are you a registered voter? Because we trust in man and not God.
Okay, I like telling them I'm not voting.
What you say?
I'm not voting.
They make your teeth white.
I'm not voting.
Don't come through with that.
Why you not voting? It don't help. It don't work.
It's my rights, goddamn it.
That's right.
Now the Egyptians are man and not God. Read on.
And their horses flesh and not spirit.
I wanted to read down to that point of not spirit. That's the give me that in Zechariah now, I believe it is, right? Or is it Zephaniah 4:6? Is it Zephaniah or Zechariah 4:6? Might be Zephaniah 4:6. Zechariah 4:6. It says that they are man or flesh and not spirit. Black folk keep thinking that if we vote the right person into office, or if we assimilate, take on their customs, it'll change the condition of us as a people. Maybe they won't suppress us anymore in the things that we are fighting for if we just do it their way. Like it says, we take on the host nation's culture and their ways and the way that they live. But we keep forgetting that this is a spiritual battle that we in. We was brought here because we not had physical problems. Hell, we had money. We had everything we needed in Africa. Even on the west coast of Africa, we still had everything we need. Even when we was in our kingdom, God provided everything for us. We was brought here because we got spiritual problems, not financial. Hell, even being here in our lower state, we still get money. How much did they say it was? We are black folk in America are the equate of the 8th richest nation or something. Trillions of dollars, even here. It ain't a money problem. No. It's the spirit problem. Read that in Zechariah.
Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit.
So God is telling us what? Your vote ain't gonna matter.
Right.
You're 3/5 of a man in the damn Constitution, y'all. They are deliberately oppressing everything that you do, so you can't. Even if you get people there, they just gonna be puppets to all the white folk around them.
That's the reason why they come out with a slogan that says "Make America Great Again," but they was been making America great. They just revealed it to black people.
There you go. America was only great when Negroes was in slavery. Because it's a spiritual battle we got, man. Now, watch this. The worst part about this is when you reveal truth to people. It's always one of them Jasons. I ain't calling them coon. It's one of them Jason Negroes out there that always got something to rebuttal black folk speaking about the oppression that they see right in front of their face. Try to make us think we crazy. Pull up Tyrese.
President Biden and Kamala Harris signed an Asian hate crime bill, which makes it beyond illegal to ever purposely and maliciously do anything to anybody in the Asian community. And there was a spike in crimes and criminal behavior in and around COVID, allegedly and specifically motivated by Trump. And so everybody started treating Asians, beating them, killing them, shooting them, stabbing them, hurting them. And then he gets into the White House, skips over every black and brown Mexican and Latino that have been getting killed like flies, and he makes it a law. Asian hate crime bill.
Now stop right there. Now he pointing out the obvious. We all lived during that time. Hell, we was here during COVID. We all had masks on our face. We know what we heard on the news. We saw them Asian folk go out there and march for 30 days, and then boom, it was like that. It was passed. Now look what these Jason Negroes say to try to make us think that we are liberated when we really not. Pull up Roland. Roly-poly. Martin.
All right, y'all. Let me make this video real quick, okay? Like real quick. Tyrese, you do not know what you're talking about.
See, here we go.
That video where you're talking about an anti-Asian crime bill, that is a lie. Please, learn to fact check before you start talking. I have debunked this nonsense numerous times on Roland Martin Unfiltered. That is a lie. I literally have walked through the bill on my show. In the summary, it talks about the attacks on Asian Americans. It is called the COVID-19. It specifically mentions COVID-19. If you actually read the bill, which I've done on the air multiple times, it does not only apply to Asian Americans. It applies to everybody. It also, all it did was also create one job that compiled data.
Right, cut it. So he's saying that was for everybody. They passed that hate crime bill because everybody was being afflicted during that time, and it's not an Asian hate crime bill. It's COVID-19. Now, see, this is the witchcraft of the white men that you got to pay attention to, and the Jasons that agree with him that in this country we are liberated because we have the right to vote. No, they close their eyes about all the oppression. No, I don't know what you're talking about. What oppression? Huh? The article goes through a timeline from 1870 down. Well, no, I ain't seen none of that. I've been voting for 30 years. Boss. Now, let's go. Let's pull up YouTube. We're going to pull up YouTube. And can you see the search? Now, let's search Asian hate crime bill, and let's see if it pops up COVID-19 hate bill, or if it pops this up. Hold on, read that. Zoom in. Man. Zoom in. Now, what does that say? Read the first one.
Senate overwhelmingly passes anti-Asian hate crimes bill.
Wait, they didn't call it a COVID-19. What's going on? That was that Caucasian news broadcasting.
Yeah.
Caucasus Mountains.
He said it was specifically called the COVID-19. That don't say nothing.
Senate overwhelmingly passes Asian hate crime bill. Let's read the next one. Scroll up some.
94-1.
Al Jazeera is not even here.
Look at the description. It says targeting Asian hate crime.
There you go. Read the next one.
Anti-Asian hate crimes bill passes U.S. Congress.
What about the next one? Let's go down. What does that say?
Hate crimes bill comes amid rise in violence against Asian Americans.
Maybe it's just 3. Go ahead, Cap.
And that was Jackie Chan right there, right?
Go back up. Jackie Chan. Look. Speaking on behalf of it.
Come on.
Now let's read the next one.
U.S. Senate advances anti-Asian hate crimes bill.
Oh, let's read the next one.
Anti-Asian hate crimes bill influenced by Atlanta shooting.
Keep going up. Let's see if they ever called it COVID-19. It's Sleepy Joe signing it into law right there. What did it say? Go.
Biden speaks after signing Asian American hate crime bill.
The one above that.
Hashtag breaking. Biden signs anti-Asian hate crimes bill into law.
Biden speaks after signing Asian American hate crime bill. Go back up. No, I mean down. Yeah, come on. Right there.
6 GOP senators vote against anti-Asian hate crime bill.
Let's keep going.
Biden signs hate crimes bill into law.
Next one.
Anti-Asian hate crime bill passed.
Let's see another one.
U.S. Senate passes bill to fight anti-Asian hate crime.
Nobody called that a COVID-19 hate crime bill. They all knew it was passed on the behalf of Asians, because you can't do anything wrong to them because they have been liberated.
Yep. If it was for everybody, that's when George Floyd got.
Oh yeah, during that same time. Where's this at? This is why you can't trust them that don't side with their people, or that give you a mirror of that they are fighting for their people. On the with the tools of the oppressor. You can't do that. Don't trust nobody that fights with the for their people with the tools of their oppressor. They are not for you.
Right.
They will bend the truth. They will make things sound good, because why? They still got a position in that arena that they got to hold on to.
Assimilated. They're still eating good, Cap.
Assimilated. Yeah, it look like it, don't it?
Oh yeah, he's good.
It looked like it, man.
Even though you say this bill is for everybody during COVID-19, you still targeted a person based off what you named the bill.
Yep, there you go.
Asian hate crime bill.
Yep, give me that in Sirach chapter 30. I'm going to show you something about people that are like it. When we point out the obvious that there ain't no black liberation, and they say the opposite of it with no fact, they'll lie right to your face like that dude just did. Everybody knew it was a Asian hate crime bill. That's why the damn media got hold of it and said, this is for Asians. Yeah. They did not say this is for everybody during the COVID-19 time. They did not say that. Right. Read that in Sirach chapter 38, and I want you to read verse 31.
Sirach chapter 38 and verse 31.
Yep.
All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work.
That's Roland Martin, wise in his work. He's on the political agenda, right? He think he's wise. I've read this multiple times, and you know these bills be like 20 pages long, 10, 50, or 900 pages long. I've read it multiple times. I've debunked it. You can't tell me anything. He's wise in his own work. He's so wise that he think he knows more than God. But what happens when the scriptures come out, it shows you foolish. Keep reading.
Without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. They shall not be sought for in public counsel.
You can't counsel with them on behalf of your people. God said, don't look for them to give you any kind of spiritual answers to the problems that you got as a people. He's only going to give you Egyptian fleshly answers to your problems. That's it.
I guarantee you, Cap, when he read "We the People," he was like, we the people.
We the people. I'm a citizen. We. The 15th Amendment said I am. Now, other people that are coming up on understanding that they haven't been liberated as black folk either, although they have married their oppressor, their historical oppressors, they realize that they ain't got no black liberation either. You know who found that out? Quick, play that next video.
This tactic of when anybody brings up anything,
Candace Owens. Go ahead.
That Israel is doing is wrong, you get to just scream
you see,
blood
there is no
libel
source.
and
So Pierce, let me continue.
anti-Semitism.
I'm done
Oh my gosh,
it's a
blood libel. It is not
Don't
a blood
interrupt
libel
her
to
when she
talk
won't
about
give
the
a
amount
source.
of death and the tons of explosives that have been dropped on the civilians in Palestine, okay? That is not a blood libel against
You
Jewish
said
people.
that Israel
This is such
dropped
a
more
nasty
on
and
Gaza than
perverted
Dresden.
tactic,
What is your
which
source?
essentially says, I don't have to debate anymore because I get to just call everybody a person who's accusing me of blood libels. Okay, truly, what is happening right now is that the blood of Palestinians is being shed. Okay, that is not a libel against the Jews. That is a fact and a
going back and forth. That's what America's built on. That's why they separated from the British to be able to. Right? Look what God says going to happen.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 21. That make a man an offender for a word.
They're going to make a man an offender for a word, and that word's going. It'll be true. You speak the truth, they're going to call you an offender. They're going to call you what he called a blood libel. You're trying to insinuate violence for speaking truth. But if you are liberated, black liberated, you should be able to speak truth and have no repercussions behind it. Well, if you pay attention to the news, you'll see what happened to Candace. She found out she ain't liberated at all. Pull up them next images. Read that. Zoom in. Read it.
Today, I received 3 back-to-back emails from YouTube.
How many?
3 back-to-back emails from YouTube with 3 different videos that they claim violated their YouTube policies for hate speech and conspiracy.
You know when she got those 3 emails? Right after that interview with Amalek. 3 of them in the same day that violated their policies of hate speech and conspiracy. Okay, let's go to the next one. Zoom in on at the top. Read it.
I received a 4th
Hold on, she what?
I then received a 4th email letting me know that I can no longer earn any money on YouTube.
Quick, fast, and a hurry. Closed up, dried up in pockets. Quick for a word that she spoke. She got 3 strikes in one day on YouTube. That's hard to do.
Hey, and that's the same Jewish dude that said this. Play that video.
Pull it up. Play it.
That last video I just put in there. This is the same Jewish dude. He ain't never get banned by nothing. They ain't never take him off nothing. Watch what he,
right?
Watch what he says. It's Shmooly.
Like a gremlin.
Come on.
Right there is no power in the universe, including you, God, creator of heaven and earth, he who fills the infinite expanse of space. I, as a Jew, am stronger than you. My name is Israel, he who wrestles with God and is victorious. I will die with my faith intact. There is nothing you can do. No Hitlers, no Gestapo, no SS that can be sent against me that will ever. And no Hamas. And no Hamas.
So they didn't take him off nothing. Where you Christians at?
Man, they didn't say nothing, did they?
They ain't Christians quiet as a church mouse. Yep. He said God ain't more powerful than the Jewish man.
Wow.
Man,
there's nothing you can do against me because I am Israel that wrestles, whatever the hell he said. But he said some evil stuff.
Yeah.
Where you at?
God's not more powerful than me.
God is not more powerful than me.
That's that pride. That's
there you go. That's exactly what it is. Go to that last pic of Candace Owens. Look what she said. Read that.
So if you're keeping track, I went from 0 warnings.
How many?
0
Her
warnings.
page was clean. It was, what you get that green check? A healthy page. Right. To what?
Or strikes to 3 and a full-on demonetization.
She found out real quick she ain't liberated at all. Hey. Not at all liberated.
Yeah, you know why she's saying that too? She's letting you know that she was clean until the interview.
Yeah,
that's what she's telling
exactly
you.
Right. Exactly right. Yep. And also, Tyreek Hill found out he's not liberated at all. Both of these people that we're talking about got plenty of money.
Right.
Plenty of money, because that's what black people equate liberation or freedom to, is based on how much money you have. Oh, I've got this amount of money. I've got freedom now. No, that ain't what you got.
The word that they were offended by is Revelation 3:9 that she pulled.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what it was. Go back to that image of Candace Parker so we can read the email, the third one, because they tell her why they banned her. It's the last one. No, the last one. Now read that white part. Oh, read the whole thing.
There will be no show today or at all this week. That's because YouTube has issued me a strike and a 1-week suspension for my sit-down with Kanye. They also removed the interview as hate speech as it was mass reported by Zionists.
That was months ago. Kanye was months ago, man. Go ahead.
Their tactics never change.
Read on.
Additionally, the video Kanye West, Ye, and Candace Owens, Candace episode 42, has been removed from the Candace Owens YouTube channel because it violates our hate speech policies. YouTube does not allow content containing conspiratorial claims that individuals or groups are evil, corrupt, or malicious based on their protected group status.
Wow.
Specifically, the video in question contains claims that Jewish people control the media.
Wow. Do they not?
It just proved it.
You just proved it.
They proved it.
Wow. So they say to say Jewish people control the media is evil.
It's evil. Wow. And then they control the media.
There you go.
They hit the button. Boop.
Boop. Gone.
Do that.
No money.
Yeah.
Now Tyreek Hill found out that he's not liberated either. Go to that. Pull it up. Read that.
Dolphin star Tyreek Hill had an altercation with police. Here's what we know.
Let's go to the next one and play the 1-minute video. Go to the next one, play the 1-minute video. Let's play it.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Like what?
He's telling him I'm gonna put my window up. Do what you gotta do.
Hey.
Pause it real quick. So basically, he's saying the same thing that we hear all the time. White folk tell cops, right? Because they're citizens and they know their rights. Give me my ticket. I know my rights. Roll down the window. We see videos like they roll down the window and they slide out the license and registration and they sit right there. Yeah. I know my rights. Just give my ticket so I can go. And they don't say nothing to them. What are you out here doing? I refuse to answer questions.
Right. I don't answer questions.
I don't answer questions. And they keep going on, and you don't see them snatched out the car, put on there those 6 o'clock news.
None of that.
None of that. He tried that same thing as black liberated man in America, in Miami.
And look where he at, though. Look at behind him.
The stadium where he gonna play the football game is right behind him.
In a couple hours.
All he has to do is drive
Make
about
a right.
500 feet and take a right, and he's at the place where he works at. Let's see. Keep playing.
Keep your window down.
So he's talking to him. His window's cracked.
Hey. Keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me your ass, Get out of the car. Give me your ass. Break that freaking window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now.
He said, I'm getting out.
Get out. Get out. Get out.
They snatched him out.
Get out. Get out. What part of God don't you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested.
He's on his phone. The phone's in his hand saying that. You can stop it. He's on the phone with his agent. So Tyreek got his nigga wake-up call. He found out he ain't liberated at all in America.
The crazy thing is that's FHP, Florida Highway Patrol. You know when they go from when they go as a team, you know they escort them, right?
Right.
You know when the coach run out on the field, you see the brown
that's them.
That's running. That's them.
Yeah.
So they act like they don't know who he is.
In that article, in one of the articles, it said that they knew who he was because they said it amongst themselves. Said that's Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Yeah.
They said it to each other.
They said they knew, and on top of that, he told them reason why he put up his windows so the fans don't slow down and cause a scene.
TMZ and all that stuff.
Because he knew it would have been turned into something bigger than what it is.
Wow.
Yeah. So they didn't care about that.
So
they
he's
wanted
not liberated.
They wanted it. He's not liberated.
No.
They wanted to embarrass him. They gave him his wake-up call.
Them rights, them inalienable rights didn't protect him right there.
They didn't do that.
You know what those cops said? They said, you think you got money? I'm sure I got more power.
There you go. Than your money.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, also, too, recently, Beyonce, who walks
Beyonce?
walking around with her blonde hair for years now. And you know her and Jay-Z, they the most feel like they the most black liberated couple in America. They call them a power couple is what they call them, right?
Nah.
They got Jay-Z's a billionaire, she's right behind him. They got all the money and wealth that you can think of. He brags about his $1 million art pieces he got on his wall. And Beyonce got 10 to 15 #1 albums and #1 hits. And she's been doing it for 25 years.
They just did a whole museum for Jay-Z.
They did a whole museum for Jay-Z in New York.
Yeah.
Wrapped the whole place with his lyrics. They call him Hove. They call her Bay. She got a whole church that worships her. Beehive. And she dropped the #1 a country album being a black person. Let's see what white folk thought about that. Pull it up. Read it.
Beyonce has the biggest selling country album of the year and didn't receive not even one CMA
Hold on,
nomination.
wait a minute. She didn't receive what?
Even one CMA nomination.
Read the bottom of that.
Beyonce snubbed by CMA.
CMA is Country Music Awards. Go ahead.
Receives 0.
No, she got 1.
0.
She had the #1 song in country for weeks, for months. It was at the top. Within Texas. That's how it goes. I heard it. I didn't listen to all of it, but all I heard was that.
Right.
It was #1 on the charts for months.
Started featuring shows and all.
All of that. And she received how many?
0 nominations for Cowboy Carter album.
Man, they said, man, get this nigga.
Stop playing.
You know why? She was #1 because black folk, the Beehive bought it.
Yeah.
White folk ain't buy it.
Man,
They
what
said
that?
they ain't our music and they ain't our people.
Damn. Go to the next image.
But we take Eminem like he one of us.
Oh, we love Eminem.
yeah.
Oh, we say he's the greatest rapper. Some black folk do. Read that. Drop us, read that.
Beyonce's history-making album, Cowboy Carter, just got overlooked by the Country Music Awards, despite being the first black woman to top both the country and Hot 100 charts.
And Hot 100 charts. Go ahead. And look, she went all the way Cowboy Carter. She got that damn platinum blonde hair and a cowboy hat and been walking around in cowboy boots. I'm one of y'all. I have assimilated, y'all. Accept me. They play that cowboy. Man, they turn this.
Who is this? Get your nigga hands off me.
Man, who is this? What is this? What is that? Who is this? It's Beyonce, sir. Who? It's Beyonce. You know Beyonce. I never heard of her.
I never heard of Beyonce.
And why? And you know why? I say that because we be thinking white folk be looking at black movies. Right. They do not.
Hell no.
They don't. They've never seen Get Out. No. They ain't seen Harlem Nights.
They probably never seen Black Panther.
They ain't seen Black Panther. They don't know these movies. They hear her music. Man, who? Beyonce? Who? You never bought one of her? No. You heard of Jay-Z? A little bit. As his wife. Oh, I didn't know. They've been married for damn 15 years. Oh, I didn't know.
They only heard of Jay-Z because he a billionaire.
That's it.
What the hell? Turn that off and
Say
turn
she
on
don't
some
make
Carrie
enough money.
Underwood.
Yeah, turn it on. Turn on some Garth McGraw.
I don't know Beyonce because she don't make enough money.
Tim McGraw.
It
said Beyonce didn't get a single nomination. Now read the next paragraph.
Meanwhile, Morgan Wallen.
Who?
Morgan Wallen.
Y'all ever heard of Morgan Wallen? Nah. You got to say it right. Morgan Wallen?
Morgan Wallen.
Nobody ever heard of this person. She's doing what?
Is leading the pack with 7 nods.
She got, but look, her album was not the top album on the 100 charts.
Right. Damn.
But she got 7 nominations.
She got 7. Wow.
That mean that it was played in the country airwaves.
Yes.
But
Top
people,
100s.
they probably turned the damn channel to something else. When her, who the hell is this singing on?
Get this nigga off here.
Probably hit the button. Turn it off.
Now look at this. We keep talking about this black liberation. This black dude right here, he broke it down of how we really don't have any liberation, of how when we are put into the system that it is meant to destroy us as a people. Play that video, man.
If you have a record in America, there is something called collateral consequences. This is something that nobody knows about. There are literally 40,000 laws that kick in after you serve your time.
Damn.
So when people say I can't rent, that's one. You have 39,999 more of things like that are all around America.
Now pause it right there. Why is it so important when he say rent? What are black Americans mostly doing? We are renters.
#1 renters.
So in order to keep you from renting them high rises that you see pop up all over, the ones you got to put a code in to get into, where they can keep it young, fresh, and white, where you can't get in there. What do? Let's hit this nigga with a crime right here. And then he'll have to go where we want him to go once he get out, because we got 40,000 laws waiting on him.
I like to call it a life sentence.
A life sentence.
No matter what time you might do 1 or 2 years, you still have a life sentence.
Damn.
Because everything else is
predicated on that.
Background checks.
Yep.
Where you live, background checks. Blackground checks.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. Blackground checks.
Yeah.
Even in school, if you decide you want to get into a medical career, you
Blackground checks.
Yeah, right before you go to the board to graduate to get your degree, they ask you about your background, and then once that background come up, denied.
You ain't saying
so
it right,
you did all these years in school studying, and then just to make it to the point where you are denied.
So you have to. So before you go into higher education to get a degree in a certain career field, you have to check if that career field accepts felons or criminals.
There you go.
Before you can even do it, huh?
Jobs.
Jobs.
Yep. Jobs.
So if you can't get a job, what you gonna do?
Background checks.
And even when you're trying to rent in different places, you have to have a credit score that meets their limit.
Right.
And not only that, you have to have the right type of job with the right type of title.
Yep. Good point. Good point. Let's play that video out. Damn.
When it affects one person, we're like, okay, well, you know, if you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, great. But when it affects 70 million people, and when something happens called post-conviction redlining, where people can't rent just anywhere, so they're aggregated to a certain geographic location, and you have these people that can't work in healthcare, can't work in insurance, can't work in real estate, can't work in education, can't work in finance. Literally, the growth economic engines in a lot of these small American cities are education, healthcare, and government.
Damn, that's heavy, man. That's heavy. We don't think about the levels of Satan's seat of where he is, his devices, because we just look at it on the surface, but it's so much behind it of how this Edomite and this falsehood of black liberation has tricked us into believing that we are in a better state than we actually are as a people. We not at all. Give me that in Isaiah chapter 59.
Hey, Cap, real quick. You know where they're going to give you a job? In the field.
There you go. Exactly right. In the field. That's and you know what Trump called that? Black job. Damn. This is what we got to realize as a people. Isaiah 59 verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 59 verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save.
That it cannot liberate us, because a derivative or a synonym of liberation is salvation. God's hand ain't short that it cannot liberate us as a people. Read.
Neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear.
That he won't hear us and when we pray, but it's a reason why he's not hearing us. And the voting that we doing, the money that we have, the education that we are trying to attain, it's only a certain level that we can go in this society with it if we choose not to assimilate. They'll make you president if you assimilate. But if you won't stay true to who you are as a people, like this is who we are as a people. And we ain't saying you got to be ignorant, stupid, and all that stuff. But no, you care about the things, the history of your people, the plight that's happened to your people, the injustices that happen against your people. If you care about those things, it's a ceiling they got for you. You know why? Because you're going to carry yourself a different way. What the scripture says, truly oppression make a wise man mad.
That's
and when you understand that you live up under oppression as a people, you carry yourself a different way, because you can't go through the world acting like everything is okay. That's one of the ways that myself, how I was pulled into this truth. The Lord called me into this truth. I saw the world in a different way when I went to this damn white establishments playing these Greek fashions. And then I came back home during the Bush era, and all of the houses in the hood was boarded up. Trash everywhere, still drunks on the corner. I haven't seen them in 5-6 years. I'm like, damn, this is a complete 180 where I came from. My people are struggling down here. I didn't see the world like they did. I started to move different. I started to read different books. I started doing some history research about our people. Why we did? You start to move. Your conversation becomes different.
You start to watch different.
You start to see things different, watch different things. And when you in there, they say, oh, we can only put him right here because if he's a leader and we let him get around the other people, he's going to influence them. What's that called? Trick baby.
I got it. Trick baby, right? And the crazy thing is, like you said, when you running for those high office, they go back to when you was in damn middle school.
Oh, yeah.
They go back, look for everything you read, everything. Hell, you took African American studies. Why'd you take the African American
Right.
studies?
What'd you learn?
Why'd you get an A in that class? Like let's say you forwarded one post from 30 years ago.
Right. They gonna find it.
They will find it and they will use it against you because that is not a speech that's indicative of assimilation.
Yep.
That's not the American way.
That's not the American way. Let me know when y'all got that video pulled up. Keep reading verse 2 in Isaiah 59. Let me know when you got the video. Go ahead.
Verse 2. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God.
That's why none of that works. That's why we have a falsehood of black liberation, is because our iniquities have separated us from God to where even when we get into those things, we get a foothold in it, it still doesn't change the plight of us as a nation. Our iniquities have separated us from God. Read on.
Right?
And your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
Go back to that. Now pull up that video of the trick baby of when you start moving different, thinking different, and you ain't completely assimilated. You all in on Christmas and Thanksgiving. You actually understand where it came from. You like, nah, I ain't doing that stuff. I ain't messing with that. I don't do that stuff.
This is one of the heaviest clips ever.
Play that video for me.
Make sure he's unmuted.
You liberals who have lifted them up.
Turn it up.
Or you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous. No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs. Oh, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up. That makes it even worse.
Keep playing.
You brothers know who they're talking about?
Oh, what we got here?
They're talking about us.
Oh, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Amazing.
All right, we cut it.
Amazing.
He got a pre-edited video. Yeah, but that's still hold true right there. And when he say smart, he's not talking about smart in the history of your people.
Right.
He's not talking about smart like it being educated on the plight of black folk since we've been encountering this white man.
Right.
He talk about smart in their world. You know all the white presidents. You know all the policies. You know all the war strategies. You know all of that stuff. You're smart in their world, like it said in Sirach 38. You know a state of this world, you know everything. Your people, you don't know a damn thing.
Even with that conversation right there, what you're seeing is Republican and Democrat.
There you go.
And how they want to deal with their slaves.
Yep.
Some thinks that, okay, the way that they don't rebel against me is by making them feel like they're a part of something. Others is like, F these niggas.
Yeah, keep them down. We can't let them come up here. You got that video? Let's pull it up.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard. Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous. No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs. Oh, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up. That makes it even worse. Oh, no, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us.
Damn!
He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
Damn.
Hey, Cap.
That's your Roland Martin.
There you go.
That's it.
Go ahead.
You know what I just realized I never caught before? Because the military people use that word. neutralize them.
Yeah.
When you say you neutralize somebody, that means you put them to death.
Yep.
So you put the blackness to death, and then they become white.
One of us. Damn,
You know what that's
man.
called? Killed the black man. Killed the Indian, saved the man.
Yep. Exactly right.
Even that, Cap, you see, they say that in front of black people.
Yeah. Excuse me.
You know.
No, thank you. Like, because they know that we have no power to change the way that they have set up the falsehood of black liberation.
It was a part where he said, if you give them no hope, they become dangerous.
Yeah.
What he's talking about, if you don't give them some type of illusion, right? Politics, Democrat. If you don't give them something, they're gonna unite and become dangerous to white society. That's what he's talking about.
That's like backing a dog into a corner. Eventually,
You got
the
no
dog gonna
choice.
say, I got to fight.
Yeah.
But if you give a dog a maze where he can run around the maze or continue,
He'll stay there.
He'll stay there.
Give me that in Isaiah 63, verse 9. This is what we forgot about our God in this, and we trusted in this falsehood of black liberation and this oppression, and we don't have no desire to go back to our homeland of Jerusalem. We okay here. We want to make things work in the worst situations on earth. Nobody else has it like Black America, where Hispanic folk and Israelites, where we are the servants of our oppressor. And we didn't go back to where we came from. Right. You had to live with them. Every other nation that had faced oppression or occupation, or what you would say, they got to go back to where they came from. They got to go back where they came from. Even with the Arabs and Palestinian dudes, they went there on their own. They chose to stay there. We got brought here, and we didn't get to go back to where we came from at all. And here goes the smart roller. Well, get a passport and go. The whole damn world is destroyed now. We can't go anywhere and establish a kingdom of ours anymore. The hand of our oppressor has covered the whole earth. To no matter where we go and try to establish the glory that we once had, he will what you call that? He will toss a bomb my ass. Even if you in Ghana, Liberia, you could be he gonna toss a bomb your ass.
And the thing is that if you, as a black man from America under this slavery, under this captivity, go back to Africa, you know how quickly you'll find out that you are a foreigner and you're not wanted. Why? Because we have been nurtured by this beast for hundreds of years. We don't fit into African culture. No. We don't fit into that culture. We come over there with the damn long eyelashes or whatever else they
sagging your pants.
We're gonna be put in the same subjugation by our people and theirs.
Yep.
Because we don't fit in. And then if we go over there, what do we have to do? Assimilate again.
There you go. Let's read that script, man, in Isaiah 63 and 9, what we forgot about God. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 63, verse 9. In all their affliction, he was afflicted.
We forgot that God is afflicted with us in this falsehood of black liberation. The thing is that God wants us to turn to him instead of trusting in the hand of our oppressor. He told us in Proverbs, say, envy thou not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. We have continually chosen his ways time after time after time, and even assimilated into his ways. But in all of our affliction, God said he's been afflicted too, because he knows what he created us to be, on top and above all nations. We just trying to fight to be equal with these people. Keep reading.
And the angel of his presence saved them.
He did what?
And the angel of his presence saved them.
That means liberated them. We are going to be liberated. Keep reading.
In his love and in his pity, he redeemed them. And he bare them and carried them all the days of old.
That goes what Jeremiah said in Lamentations. If it not had been for the Lord and his mercies that was on our side, surely we have been consumed. And also, this is what happens when we have liberation. Verse 10. Go ahead, verse 10. Bring it up.
But they rebelled.
But what?
But they rebelled.
Good
God
point.
took us out. He showed us mercy. He showed us his commandments. But what do we do?
But
go ahead, read it again.
But they rebelled.
And did what?
And vexed his Holy Spirit.
We vex God's Holy Spirit. What manner of people is this? This is not the people I created from the beginning. Who are these people that kick at my laws, do whatever they want to do, and then call on me for mercy and grace?
Not your ways unequal.
Right. It's crazy. Read on.
But they rebelled and vexed his Holy Spirit.
And what happened?
Therefore, he was turned to be their enemy. And he fought against them.
And he fought against
That's
them.
why
That's what
none
we
of
had
this
now.
working.
Right.
That's why we got a falsehood of black liberation. And this is us rebelling against God right here. Pull up that next video, y'all.
Amazing.
Brace yourself.
I'm sorry, I don't want no kids.
That's nasty words.
But you gonna make some beautiful kids. You gonna make somebody really happy. But I really don't want kids. So anybody here else want kids? Just step out now. I'm not ruining this body. All right. All right. Would you still date me knowing that I have 2,000 bodies?
Run! You have 2,000 bodies?
Yeah.
Even the host.
Yes.
Pause it. Did you hear the dude in the back? Run it back again, just a little bit. God, look at this. This is what you talking about, them damn cumbrellas. Clown. Run it back a little more.
Horse teeth.
We want to hear that again. Run it back.
What? 1,000 bodies?
Yeah.
For real?
Yes.
Pause it. He said, damn, that's a first 48.
Amazing. Death.
Going on.
And she proud of it.
And she's
Mouth
like,
wide
what?
open.
Like, I don't understand what you.
This is why we
Waiting
ain't
to
got
add
no
more.
respect. This is what the falsehood of liberation give you, because it gave. Look at our women, how they walk around now.
There you go. Look at that.
2,000 men been inside her, and she walk around with pink hair and cumbrellas on, so the 2,000 men don't get in her eyes.
Big ass porcelain teeth.
Porcelain teeth, man. Keep letting it play. Listen to this.
Wait. What? Anybody else have a problem with that?
I have no problem with that.
Pause it. And then the whoremongering dude said, I got no problem with that.
Activating
That's
the
the dude
demons.
said
That's
first
what
48,
that's
isn't it?
making God angry.
Yes.
Vexed him.
Vexing him. Go ahead.
48.
No, I'm giving you opportunity. Like, I want to know if you can leave now.
Go to the next
Oh,
video.
my
This is her. Her name's Diamond the Body. That's what she calls herself.
My body count is it's not 2,000.
Pause
It's
it.
It's the same one?
Read that at the top.
Diamond the Body admits to laying down with over 2,000 men at 27.
This is just a few months ago, y'all. You got to do the math.
Everybody
on that.
calculator came out.
This is the black liberation.
Do whole math.
Yeah. Run it back from the beginning.
my body count is it's not 2,000. It's over 2,000 now.
How old are you?
I'm 27. So since that interview, I've had sex with more people.
What are your rates?
Okay, so this is my thing, right?
Okay.
I'm a dancer first.
Okay.
So let's start there. So my main occupation, the main way I get money is being a stripper.
Okay.
I go to work, people throw dollar bills at my naked body.
Okay.
So now it's like an extracurricular activity. It's not something I do every day. It's not something I wake up like, hey, I need to find somebody to pay me to have sex. You know what I'm saying? It's really like, okay, it might be a day where, okay, some nigga, he got 3,000, he throwing me money, whatever, and he's just like, yo, I want to see you after the club. What I gotta do? Or how much more you want? And I'm gonna give him a price, and if the price is right, I just might. It's not like or I have a price and a set. So it's not like it comes natural, like you said. It just comes natural.
How?
Okay.
It's never like planned. It's not set. Sometimes I charge more. Sometimes I charge less, depending who the guy is, what he look like, how much money I think he got, how much money I even need. It's sometimes where my bank account looking right and I don't feel like doing it. My body.
That's for liberation. That's black liberation. That's what it got. That's where we've come to as a people. Everybody is shocked and amazed. Like, that's unbelievable.
Cap, she just said it was what is that? Extracurriculum activity. Like that's art or drawing.
Yes.
Or some.
That's where we are
sketching.
as a people.
The hell is
Give me that in Jeremiah chapter 4. What does God want from us, man? For we can truly be liberated as a people. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 14. This is what he's always wanted. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 14. O Jerusalem, wash thine heart from wickedness.
Do what?
Wash thine heart from wickedness.
Wash thine heart from wickedness. That's the breaking of God's commandments. Go ahead.
that thou mayest be saved.
That what?
That thou mayest be saved.
That we can be truly liberated. Truly liberated. Have peace. Right. Everlasting peace. Go ahead.
How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee?
How what?
How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee?
How long are we going to continue to trust in a people that cannot save us? Go ahead.
For a voice declareth from Dan and publisheth affliction.
Is that it on verse 14?
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah 31 now, and let's read verse 7.
Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 7. For thus said the Lord, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publishly, praise ye, and say, O Lord, save thy people.
Do what?
Save thy people.
Liberate us, God. This is what we should be saying to God, not trusting in oppression and a falsehood of black liberation. We should be saying unto God, save thy people. Read.
Save thy people, the remnant of Israel.
Only a remnant's going to truly believe that and cry out to God. That's those that do not trust in their oppressors. It's those that oppression makes them mad when they look at it. It's those that are willing to face reality and say to God, we have sinned. Verse 8.
Right. Behold, I will bring them from the north country.
That's North America, South America, over here. Go ahead.
And gather them from the coasts of the earth.
That's all the islands scattered throughout. Go ahead.
And with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither.
So it's anybody of the 12 tribes of Israel that wants to repent. God said, I'll bring you home. I'll save you. I'll truly liberate you if you don't trust in spiritual Egypt's flesh. You can return home. Outside of that, God said you got to stay here and die with the rest of them. All right? Got anything? Go ahead.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that lifestyle she living, minus the bodies, right? It's such a trauma-ridden lifestyle because if you got 2,000 bodies, you fighting every other week because you done slept with somebody, man.
Yep.
Your damn windows bust out. All stuff happening. You done got in fights, got hurt, all of this stuff. But then when God calls you, you'll stay for a week. You'll listen maybe, but then you'll go right back.
Good point. Good point.
Right back.
There, man. Read, jump down to verse 11. This is what liberation looks like. Verse 11.
Verse 11, for the Lord has redeemed Jacob and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he.
How does that play out today? How do we see that? What did God do? He rose up the prophets in the last days and the Israelites, and he's given the understanding of the scriptures to his prophets, the bishops, the deacons, the captains, the officers, and they go out on the streets and they are trying to redeem you from the hand of your enemy with knowledge and understanding that you ain't never heard before. Right. Ain't no black liberation ever been able to inspire you with the words of God like the Israelites have in these last days. Right. That's God redeeming us from him that was stronger than us. Keep reading, verse 12.
Therefore, they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of the Lord.
Now, I'm telling you right now, that Cowboy Carter stuff ain't going to be sung in the Lord's house. That ish ain't going to be
right there. Where is that?
That's right. Keep your way right there.
Hey, he's going to get zeros. It's going to get the exact number of votes that
right
got
there.
on earth.
0 nominations. That can't come in here.
Nah.
Keep reading.
For wheat and for wine and for oil and for the young of the flock and of the herd. And their souls shall be as a watered garden.
Why does it say our soul gonna be as a watered garden? Because our soul is dried up now. We the walking dead, spiritually dead. We just saw it. 2,000 men, your soul is as a dry tree. And the man that slept with her that know she got 2,000 men that has been inside of her, their soul is just as dried up. They ain't absolved either.
Bro.
Just as bad.
Hey, the odds and the statistics are not on her side.
Nah.
There's a high likelihood that she got something she can't get rid of. There's a high. She got it. He said she got it.
She passed it on.
2,000 plus.
Yeah, you
maybe she got some. Maybe
She
whatever.
done had some shots.
But she done had something where she done called her friend.
She
and said,
probably
"Listen."
currently got it and giving it to the other brother.
Right.
That brother that volunteered earlier who doesn't have a
He
problem.
gonna find out.
Probably another
Yeah,
victim
he gonna
right
be the
there.
one. That's what the
Yeah.
Lord said. She
got a
got
fungus right now.
Yeah.
You got what?
He got a fungus right now.
Yeah. Like,
Let's read that. And their soul.
And their soul shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all.
Our black people sorrowing here even after black liberation, even after the 13th, 14th, and
Right.
15th. Have we received sorrow here in this country?
Right.
Oh yeah, we have. We like to forget about it. We want to act like it ain't never happened. That's why we don't acknowledge Juneteenth.
right.
That's why we don't acknowledge George Floyd. We don't forget about Tamir Rice and Mike Brown. That's why we ain't out here doing the thing that's Black Lives Matter gone. You don't forget about all the sorrow that you have. You just try and live it up and vote a black woman into office to make history. You forgot about that
To
sorrow.
make you happy.
To
remember?
make you happy. There you go.
I was happy.
Because
go ahead.
Because every single weekend you get reminded of that sorrow. Pookie, Ray coming with the choppers.
Yep.
Every single place you go, and you always say, I ain't gonna go there next week. That was my last time. But
Yeah,
you
right.
find yourself there, ducking
go.
bullets.
Verse 13.
Then shall the virgin rejoice in the dance.
Not the way we dance today. These women ain't gonna dance like it. Like the sister just said, her occupation is a stripper. She broke it down like people don't know what a stripper is. Man, throw money at my naked body. We all know what the hell it is.
What the hell?
She's trying to make herself feel good.
That's it. That's it. Go ahead.
Both young men and old together. For I will turn their mourning into joy and will comfort them and make them rejoice from their sorrow.
Read on.
And I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, saith the Lord.
That's what liberation sounds like. That's what liberation is going to be for the remnant that repent and say to God, save thy people, the remnant of Israel.
That's right.
Right? So we're going to wrap it up. We got something?
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
Verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, refrain thy voice from weeping and thine eyes from tears.
Read.
For thy work shall be rewarded,
Go ahead.
saith the Lord.
The Lord says your works shall be rewarded. Okay, there's two types of works.
Yeah.
He's going to reward you for righteous works. He also going to reward you for the evil that you do.
There you go.
Read.
Trusting in oppression.
We're trusting in oppression. Read.
And they shall come again from the land of the enemy.
That's it right there, boy. They got read verse 17
Right,
now.
right.
Shoot, we might best read his own time. Read 17.
And there is hope in thine end,
Man, that's
saith
good
the
right
Lord.
there. That's liberation. Damn, that's a good script right there. I feel good. We got to read that again. That baby feel good right there. Man.
Let's go.
That's chicken noodle soup for the soul right there, man. Read that again. I need some of that. Verse 17.
Verse 17. And there is hope in thine end, saith the Lord, that thy children shall come again to their own border.
That's to all those sisters, the mothers that have lost children to this oppressive system by the hand of the devil called Esau. God said, I'm going to give you your children back.
In your own border.
We can call it ours.
They call it ours.
Damn, man. All praises, man. I want the liberation of God.
Yeah,
That's
what I
right.
want.
Keep that black falsehood. All right. So that's been our time here on Four Corners News. All praise to the Most High, man. Lord's will, life lasts. We'll be back on next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same place, same time, giving you the truth from the Bible.
That's right.
Cap Severus, you up.
All right, Israel, it's that time again to put your money where your mouth is and support this truth. Don't forget to sign up to the booster clubs, y'all. Don't forget, register at IUIC.fundraiser@IsraelUnite.org.
That's
right.
All praise to the Most High. And make sure y'all send up prayers, man, for the prophets that go out and do the work of the Lord to liberate our people.
Right. That's right.
The way that God wants us to be liberated from the lies, man. All right. So with that, Israel, we say shalom.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC.